Hey, I'm Brother Steve from Hollywood, California. I've got Pastor Sam Moore with me. He's got some great and wonderful, exciting things to share. You're going to love it, y'all. You're going to love it. You're going to hear some stuff you ain't heard in a long time from a good seasoned pastor, y'all. So it's going to get good. We're going to be quick. We're going to be right to the point. We're going to cut to the chase today. It's going to be a great program. Pastor Sam Moore, he's going to talk about his church, great things. From Hollywood, California, Brother Steve, stay tuned.
From Hollywood.
Yo, DJ, are you done mixing yet?
Your DJ has only just begun.
Hello, I'm Bishop T.D. Jakes, and you're watching Brother Steve TV.
Hey, it's LaToya Luckett, and you're watching Brother Steve TV.
This is Rance Allen, and you're watching my friend, Brother Steve TV.
Hey, y'all, this is Leandra Johnson, and you're watching Brother Steve TV.
Hi, this is Rodney Darkchild Jerkins. This is Chris Tucker. This is Kirk Franklin. And you are watching Brother Steve. And you're watching Brother Steve. Brother Steve TV. Stay tuned.
From Hollywood, California, you're watching Brother Steve TV.
It's a praise jam party, yep, it's going up. Brother Steve, the Sunshine Band, that's what's up. Him and his crew, they really making stations nervous. Brother Steve deliver hits like the Postal Service. Must I remind you of his credentials? Brother Steve, go hard, he go large, he's monumental. That's it, it's over. A finality, call the Paul Bearers, the station's buried in Cali.
360, going hard for the Lord. It's the Praise Jam Party. Brother Steve is in charge. For all the hot exclusives and the brand new styles, tune in every week, adjust your radio dial to the most unpredictable show on the airwaves. From the land of the stars to the home of the brave. We go hard for the Lord. Yeah. That's how we rep Christ. We don't apologize for it. We go hard.
Well, the one and only Pastor Sam Moore is with us on today. And this is good. It's really good. Because he got some great things to talk about, to share. And let me bring him in now. Pastor, how you doing, Doc? How you doing, Pastor Moore?
Man, I am doing great, man of God. I'm so happy to be on with Brother Steve Hollywood. You know you done made it when you on with the name, Brother Steve. Yes, sir.
Nominees for Best Male Actors are. Man, Pastor, I don't know what to say. I'm just grateful to have you here today. The people are here. We're celebrating you. It's a great day today, and want to let everybody know, come on in, share this video. We're going to cut right to the chase, and you can start commenting if you want to. And let me say, this is one of a series of interviews that we're doing with Pastor Sam Moore. He's going to be making a major announcement probably the first of next week. But you want to hear this. And I've done a lot of interviews, and I still do a lot of interviews. But when you hear something that's real good, you're like, wait a minute, now that's real good. That's some good stuff.
Right.
Tell us where you're from, Church of God in Christ. Give a shout out to your church and everything out there.
Well, thank you again for having me, Brother Steve. I am Pastor Sam Moore. I am a third-generation Kojic kid. Woo! I'm a PK. I have been pastoring now for almost 22 years, as you can see by the gray hair.
Whoa.
But yeah, I pastor an amazing church in the suburbs of Detroit, a city called Roseville. And the name of that church is Conquerors Church. Conquerors Church is an amazing ministry. The Lord has blessed me to pastor there. We've been out in this area now for about 10 years, going on 11 years. We're excited for it. In fact, it's going on 12 years. 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah. COVID kind of set me back a little bit on that timing stuff. 12 years. But we're excited. When we initially launched out here, we came out here, we transplanted with 25 people. And we actually went down to 21 We
Okay.
lost 4 in the transition, but the Lord blessed and we grew to over 300 in 3 years. And so God has blessed us. We're super excited about
Wait a minute.
what God
You
is doing.
grew your church from 21 to 300. I know some pastors right now that's been pastoring for 20 years and don't have 300 members.
Yes, sir. That's that was what the Lord did for us. In fact, we grew so quickly that we had to start using the theater. That's how
Wow.
quickly we grew. And yeah, it's a story behind it all. And I don't know, how far you want to go into it, but
I want to give information to help the people today because you, as a pastor, have something to share and to say to help out younger pastors out there.
And that's for sure the truth. I can say this of a certainty, to the younger pastors. In that whole transition, one of the things that I had to do is just let God make me into who He wanted me to be. I had others who, you had some of the seasoned saints who wanted you to be what they thought you should be. And then there was pressure for me to maintain a certain style. I'll share this real quick exchange. There's a whole lot of facets to it, but
yes, sir.
Share this quick exchange. Prior to the move, I went through this major transformation, right?
Wow.
And so I don't frown upon a hooper. In fact, I still, get at it a little bit, but my style shifted. My style, my presentation shifted. Here's the thing. God said to me, you had to become who I was sending you to. You had to become who I was sending you to.
Wow.
The hoop style just wasn't going to work for where I was going.
Okay.
So I evolved into this guy who uses this screen, and I'm doing points. Of course, I know everybody's doing sermon series, but I was doing sermon series 11, 12 years ago. Yeah. We've been on top of that. Then I'm going a whole different way now. I'm gonna let everybody do the sermon series now. I got something else I'm doing, and Lord's put His hand on that. But and so I would say to every young pastor, this is one thing I'll share for sure tonight, is that allow God to make you into who He wants you to be, not what people want you to be. I'll tell you this. I had so much pressure on me, not just only from outsiders, from myself. The Lord blessed early on in my ministry, and we were growing actually where I was, but the Lord told me to move. And I did not move when He told me.
So the Lord told you to move, but you told the Lord that you're not going to move right now.
In fact, I'll tell you exactly what I said. Okay. And here's the quote. I said to God, okay, I'll move when I see a certain number of people on a regular basis. And that number was 200. I was teetering around 150. A Sunday, I'll do 125, stuff like that. But when I see 200, God, on a regular basis, I'll move. And it was like the Lord stood back and said, okay, let's see if you see that.
Okay.
And I never saw that. In fact, my ministry began to plummet. At that time, in that season of my life, I was placed by the great man of God himself. We call him here locally, Mr. Church of God in Christ, the Bishop P.A. Brooks.
Oh, yes.
Former first assistant of our church, of Lord's Church. And so the Lord, I served with him. I was one of his I wasn't his chief adjutant, but I was one of his main adjutants. As a young preacher, he placed me at the age of 28 at the homegoing of my father. He saw enough in me to do so, and I'm forever indebted, but I would check in with him. He tutored me, he mentored me along the way. And the Lord allowed me to see some level of success. I was on a local television station here doing ministry. I was on every week. On Sunday mornings on TV. My church, we were known here as one of the cutting edge churches. I had the boom camera crane before people had the camera crane.
Wow.
I had a whole crew. I had the Lord blessed. I've been always a forward thinker, and the Lord blessed. And so we were doing great. It's just that the Lord told me to move, and I disobeyed. And can I tell you, the bottom fell out of my church. I had so much disunity. I had so much just people at odds, let alone I had no comfort myself.
Wow.
I just was never settled. My ministry just began to plummet. And I think what put the cap on it all is my church flooded. Now you may
No
say,
way.
yes, sir. My church flooded. And here's how it flooded. The water line going to the baptismal pool busted. Now, if that's not a sign from God, I don't know what else would be a sign. He wouldn't even let me
Boom! Take me to the. Oh, ain't no water in here. Ain't no water.
No water. No water.
Wow.
Walked in and it smelled like a marina. In fact, my one of my deacons, he got to the church. He said, "Hey, Pastor, did you would you clean out the church or something?" I said, "No, what you talking about?" He said, "Pastor, there's water coming out the front door." I was like, "What?" The church was one level. They didn't have a basement. It was one level. And man, I got there. I just started crying. I started crying because I mean, it was that much water coming out, and I was like, "Man, come on." We had a wood floor.
You was going through the valley. God was like, "You're gonna move and do what I told you to do," and now He got your attention.
Exactly. That's exactly it. He finally had my attention because, I was realizing, like, you know what? Hey, I can stay here and not make it and die, or I can do what the Lord called me to do and live. And that was one moment. Another moment was when the board members that were, with my father, they told me straight up, quote, "You can go, but I'm not going."
Uh-oh.
In fact, they didn't say I'm not. They said we're not going.
Uh-oh. One of those situations on TV.
Yes, sir. And they control the bank accounts and kind of push my wife and I out. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's real talk.
You
Real
can go,
talk.
but we not going.
We're not going.
Oh, that's a whole nother show right there, Don.
Yeah. And they shut the accounts down and then transferred their membership and basically left me to kind of bid on my own or whatever. And so, hey, my thing about it, I said, "You know what, God? Hey, here I am. I'm gone." And I that Sunday after the flood of my church, myself, the deacon, my boys, my sons and his sons, we squeegeed all the water out. I'm a fireman. I had to go to the firehouse to get squeegees. We have to wash down the firehouse every Saturday.
Yeah,
so I went to the firehouse, got 10 squeegees and came back. And I was squeegeeing out water out the front door. And after I got done, the Lord said, "I told you to move." That Sunday, I got up. I didn't have a sermon. The flood had caused a short in the electrical system, so power was halfway. And I didn't even want to preach. And the Lord said, "Go out there," with tears in my eyes. He said, "Go out there and I'm going to fill your mouth." And I preached that last sermon in that building. I've never been back. And when I say I've never been back, I didn't go back to pick up the mail that did make it. I didn't go back to pick up the rent. I said, "Just send it to me. I don't even care."
So basically, now as we move fast forward, God has set you up with a whole new operation, a whole new church.
Yes, sir.
And is bigger and better than what you had there.
Yes, sir.
But you're also an entrepreneur, a businessman. How do you balance the two out, businessman and the whole 9 yards? Because we're going to give a sneak peek of what we're going to talk about in our next few minutes left, is that you have something to help pastors not only grow their membership, but maintain their membership. So when Steve Jobs came up with something, people was like, "Oh, okay. Albert Einstein, okay." Now Pastor Sam Moore has got something that's going to help revolutionize church ministry as well.
And here's the thing, Brother Steve, it's proven. So allow me to segue that whole transition. I left, I got here, I got to where I'm at, and the Lord bless, He gave us favor. We get the church launching. We got people coming in, but I keep seeing us drop the ball, and we really had no retention. When you lack retention and engagement in your church and communication, quite honestly, the three components to, in my opinion, to true growth. When you lack retention, engagement, and communication, your church is going to flutter. It's going to flutter. It's not going to remain stable in its growth. So we would see people come in and I saw them not returning.
Wow.
And then the Lord blessed. And I've always, you asked a question just to go, minute ago, how do I manage, the business side and the ministry side? Well, quite honestly, I see them alike a little bit, because what God has allowed me to do with my business is foster things that will help the church.
Oh, my God.
So I look at it as ministry. Of course, it's ministry, but it's helping the kingdom of God. It's helping pastors who are in similar situations as I was solve some of the problems. And quite honestly, the Lord has afforded me the opportunity. I'm self-taught in what I do and what I've done. And, I just help. And I don't make a big show of it. I just try to help because I was there. And quite honestly, I may be still there, but I was there and I needed help. And so that's what this is. Yes, sir. So that's kind of
basically, we're going to make this major announcement in about a couple of days, a week or so. Keep watching his page. Keep watching my page.
That's right.
This is going to be amazing. A tool that pastors can use to help grow your church, retain members in your church. Retain. And you got to do this quick, because one of the biggest church holidays of the year is coming up, Easter.
Yes, sir. Let me say this, Brother Steve.
Go ahead.
So I learned this in corporate America. Do you know corporate America knows down to the very cent of what they spend for what is called customer acquisition? Customer acquisition. In other words, how much did it cost for us to get this member? Now, ultimately in the church, how much did it cost was the blood of Christ. Don't get me preaching on that. So it was a major cost. But I'm talking about for the pastor, what did it take for you to get that person in your door? Don't just allow them to get to your door and then you don't have anything in place that can keep them there. That's the key. That's what we rely so much on new that we don't learn how to keep what
so pastors are yet praying, Lord, send the members, Lord, send the members, send the members. And then when he sends you the members, you get excited, they're happy, and then they leave.
They disconnect. They're disconnected. There's a phrase I use at my church, and I use it every Sunday. I said, at Conquerors Church, I say this, at Conquerors Church, we won't drop you. And so I've geared my team around the importance of us. If a person has taken time to come and be with us and worship with us, we're not going to take them for granted. We're going to exhaust effort. We're going to give it our maximum to make sure, hey, this is the place for you. Why do I have to go shop someone else? I've got someone else. I got someone already who is nimble. Now, what they do in corporate America is what they've done is they've learned how to, with that customer acquisition, just to keep you engaged. That's what I mean by that. Retention comes from engagement. It comes from engagement. And then how do you do engagement? You got to communicate. So that's the key.
You're basically investing into people that have not even joined your church yet. They may not even like you.
Exactly. And that's right. And that's the whole idea. But you invest so much in them. And when I'm saying so much, they'll hear when we make this announcement, they'll hear that the investment, pastors, and don't be afraid of it. It's going to help on so many levels. It's going to help. First off, let's talk about the financial component. It's not going to be a pocket buster. It's not going to be that. Number one, it's not going to be it's not going to take a whole lot of people. Sometimes some of the programs and plans you see when you go to these conferences and stuff, they give you these lofty programs and things to implement. Man, you need 10 people to run that. You don't have 10 people to run that. Well, with this, what we're going to talk about, one.
Wait a minute, hold on.
You get one committed person, you can make this thing work. And
so basically, Pastor,
I can't wait.
For as low as $25, they can start with $25 and you can retain about 20 members.
At least you can keep them connected. You can keep them engaged. You can keep them informed. You can keep them, again, let me say this. So it's almost like Saks Fifth Avenue knows my weakness.
Yes.
Because every time I feel like I ain't gonna shop today. I ain't gonna buy nothing this week. I ain't going to Saks. They ain't getting no more of my money. Next thing I know, I got something in my email or something in my text message or something. They reached out to me. I'm like, oh man, they got my stuff on sale. I gotta go back. That's how it works. So I can't wait to share it. It's going, oh my God. I'm so
Pastor, once again, let us know the name of your church. We're not going to announce the business right now, but if they want to contact you, we'll probably put that. You want to put that out later, how they can reach you and everything. And
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So tell us about your church, where your church is located. Give a shout out to anybody you want to give a shout out to in our last 3 minutes on the air.
You got it. Thank you. I appreciate you for allowing me to come out. Shout out to my wonderful wife, Lady LaShawn Moore. Shout out to the amazing church the Lord has given me to pastor. Again, it's Conquerors Church. And if you want to look us up online, you certainly can. ConquerorsChurch.org, ConquerorsChurch.org. You can check us out there. That's where we are. If you want to reach me, you can. By the way, I don't know if I told you this, Brother Steve, but I'm praising God. My bishop is the presiding bishop of the Lord's Church.
That's right. That's right.
The Church of God in Christ. The Bishop J. Drew Sheard. I want to give a shout out to him for his continual support with me, and he just always give me an attaboy. I appreciate that. When he sees me, he always give me an attaboy. In fact, many of you may know, you may not know, I serve on the National Church Growth Board. I'm one of the church I serve with. Shout out to Bishop Roderick Hennings.
Yes, sir.
My friend and my brother. I serve with him, and we've been doing some great things there. So shout out to Terry Allison, who is the vice president there. So if you need any pastors, anybody to come and help align your team, that's my gifting to the body. Wow. I help pastors' teams catch the vision. They can't run if they ain't got it.
Pastor Moore, we're going to catch that. We're going to make this work. We're going to catch this vision in a couple of days. We're going to make this major announcement. Pastor Moore, all the way from Michigan. Pastor, thanks so much for joining our broadcast. Stay with me, Pastor. From Hollywood, California, Brother Steve Moore with Pastor Moore coming up real soon. Stay tuned.
We go and I work with a producer. We can take your